In physics, there is the periodic table of elements, which is a list of all the elements from hydrogen to uranium, including all the rare elements and their atomic weights and isotope numbers. This is very technical information, but it's very useful if we want to understand and create the physical plane, the 3D, over again. The Zolkin is similar to this periodic table, except that it is the periodic table of interdimensional galactic frequencies. Just as there are 144 elements, there are 260 galactic frequencies. It is like the master microchip. Its code allows for the design of any kind of waveform in any dimension. The Zolkin is the gauge or measure of the waveform, our own waveforms. If the waveform is not up to specs, it does not get the hookup. Waveforms are our own electromagnetic vibratory frequency. Some frequencies are circular, some are square, some are hexagon. How well do you mesh with another's waveform or frequency? Before we can travel the universe, we must make sure that our waveform is clean. For instance, an example of a clean waveform is having no old limitations, no hang-ups, no ego trips, no past life fears, or competition and control issues. This is to show us that we are more than what we think our 3D body restricts us to being. We must be honest with ourselves by doing a moral inventory. We must see ourselves as clean. The best way to do that is to hang out in the now. Remember, it is our imperfections that create our unique waveforms. When we accept our imperfections, we are in our own waveforms, and it is functioning purely and cleanly. It is being in our integrity, in which our waveforms will magnetize exactly what we need. When we are in our integrity, our waveforms are radiant, as well as our bodies and auras. The key to remaining in our integrity is to be able to identify with our own waveform. And we do this by accepting and loving ourselves completely, without hiding or denying any imperfection. Taking back our power by standing in our truth will keep negative clean static from attacking onto us. To recap, we must first sit with our total self, which may include habits and twitches and physical appearance and our talents, our energy levels, our warts. You get the picture. Don't allow the ego to run the show with repeated patterns that run into feedback loops, because that's what's going to happen. We must have complete self-acceptance and love for self. There is a self-empowerment when we take back our power and all the energy we've wasted on self-doubt, self-hatred, and fears of not being good enough. Today is Ken 231, the blue planetary monkey, with the power of magic, action to play, and the essence of illusion. So the action for us to take is to play the game of life, which means that we have to know the rules. So what are the rules? They're going to consist of universal law, natural laws, cosmic electricity, and divine will. Anything that we can ever think of is going to fall under those rules. And this is our power. It creates magic. Magic in play has the essence of illusion. Illusion is a word that's frowned upon in society. But all it is how we perceive or interpret from our senses. For instance, the law of polarity requires that if we want to be rich, we're going to automatically have a spectrum between wealth and scarcity. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to focus on the side that we want. This is how we are creating our illusions each day. Now, I know the word illusion is frowned upon in society. That's only because people become afraid. It's like we've all been conditioned to be afraid. We have the control over our own illusion. Let's look at the tone. Planetary tone, with the power to perfect, action to produce, and the essence of manifestation. Now, aligned manifestation is a natural byproduct. Natural is a part of universal laws. The planetary tone is about identity. How do we identify ourselves? This is important because we can't harmonize with the universe and all that it contains if we don't know and accept ourselves. It doesn't matter if anyone else does or doesn't, what they think or what they say. Just don't give them any power. Don't give it any thought. If we're unsure about what we're doing on earth or about who we are, we can start by looking at our own foundation. What are our beliefs and the structures that we stand on? And if it's not where we want to be at present, we can produce the power to perfect and manifest what resonates with our heart and soul. Time, V19H6. Time is a universal factor of synchronization. Remember, time is of the mind. Time is how everything happens at once. And we see it here located in the second time dimension, fourth mental sphere, on the 12th magnitude of fifth force superconscious, the circuit of beta alpha. And we're going to perform an action by supplementing and transferring internal 5D time signals of crystal cooperation to our radio sense core of cosmic ascension. Now, since we're dealing with higher consciousness and concentrated focus, we have to keep in mind that everyone's time is going to be different. So we have to allow our higher selves to take control to modify or transform a focused thought or mindset so that it can cooperate and communicate to our senses what we want it to, especially in the case of time traveling to parallel existences. We strive for the best waveform that we can muster. Space, V16H19. Space is an infinitely locatable point, and it is located in the fourth time dimension, third mental sphere, on the second magnitude of fifth force superconscious in beta channel. We're to supplement and transfer internal 5D time signals of lunar stabilization to radio sense core of cosmic Q. So notice here we are using the action of the lunar tone instead of the essence like we normally do. This is because we do not want to transfer challenge, which is the essence of the lunar tone. Since cosmic Q deals with higher mind and immediate access to higher dimensional thought forms, we may have to make some adjustments in beta, especially when it comes to how we view ourselves in higher spaces. Synchronicity, V16H12. Synchronicity is the operation of a higher moving template of mathematical order that coordinates all phenomena telepathically. There are no coincidences. And synchronicity is located here in the sixth time dimension, sixth mental sphere, on the sixth magnitude. This is the transformer insulator unit of the blue dwarf luminic force field, subliminal consciousness. This is a parallel universe attractor. Synchronicity is in the ideal place for having other worldly experiences. And we can recall that the blue luminic force field is part of the electromagnetic plane. It receives signals. So we're receiving signals under the threshold information. We're talking all of this six-dimensional stuff. Mental spheres 3, 4, and 6 are all activating on this day on the left side of the brain. And we can travel anywhere we want when our thoughts are galactic and focused in a subliminal consciousness. As we prepare our manifest, we already know that the matrices are all corresponding magically to produce what we need to manifest our illusion, to experience our multidimensional selves in other realities. Peace to the gods.